If you're easily offended, run now. That's your only trigger warning. 58% of American black women that have children have at least one child by multiple different men. In other words, 58% of black women have 2 or more baby daddies. Okay. Now, y'all, TikTok has been suppressing my videos a little bit recently. I don't know why, but so I need y'all to like this. I need y'all to comment on it because we need to have this conversation. According to a study that was done by Cassandra Dorius, who is a postdoctorate fellow at the University of Michigan's Institute for Social Research, mothers with multiple fathers for their children are more likely to be underemployed, to have lower incomes, and to be less educated. According to the study, families with multiple fathers are stressed out, with issues often arising about how to consistently raise a child in different households. I got a question, because I've heard this used about the fact that 59% of black women that have kids have 2 or more baby daddies. I've heard this used by the pundits on podcasts. I've heard this used by the manosphere. I've heard this used by a lot of men that want to just bash the shit out of women. So it's like, okay, I accept your premise, but here's the thing. Typically, this study does not take into account the amount of women that were married before they had kids or then got divorced and got remarried and had children. This study doesn't bring that up. It doesn't take that into account. But what I want to know from the men is this. Typically speaking, because I've had conversations with thousands of women at this point, they all say, especially the ones that have multiple children by different men, they say, after my first marriage ended, I became celibate. I said, I'm going to hold out. I'm not going to do this. I'm going to wait to have sex again, that kind of thing. The men they were encountering that were black men were saying, well, you already somebody's mama. Why I got to wait to get the draws? Why I got to wait to clap the cheeks? Why I got to wait to get the... And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm like, oh, you know what? You're right. You're absolutely right. Before we sit up here and try to damn and condemn women for having more than one child out of wedlock. Now, granted, there are a large percentage, a growing percentage of women that want children without getting married, to which I say, y'all know my opinion on that. I think that's stupid. I think that's stupid. I'm always think that's stupid. But to the men that want to bash women, that try to be celibate afterwards, this still proves to me men have no problem sleeping with and reproducing with women that they supposedly deem the unworthies, the undesirables, because I thought single mamas I thought they were the untouchables. I thought they were the undesirables. So why is it that women that have children, both in and out of wedlock, with one man already, still get sexual access from these supposed high value kings of the earth? Like, the math doesn't math to me. And as I investigate this further, I'm really starting to think you could either use this to bash women, or you could use this to say men are so hypersexual in this world today that they don't really give a about no legacy. They don't give a about having multiple children in one household that have been fathered by multiple different men. They don't give a about being statistics. They don't. Because if they did, this number of women that have children by more than one man would be drastically lower than what it currently is. So y'all tell me if I'm right, wrong, or indifferent. If you've made it this far, please let me know you made it this far. Put a church down there in the comments if you got this far. Because my thing is this. If men are supposed to be the leaders of society, if we're supposed to be the head honchos, we're the patriarchs, right? We lead society. Why are we leading in creating broken houses and in being active participants in the perpetuation of broken houses? Because the math ain't mathing.
What's the realist? Like, you can't really gauge that, because where are these women that are keeping their legs closed for the next man? First off. Secondly, we do know that most women look at the same type of men. You dig what I'm saying? It's the same percentage of men that are able to have sex with these women, right? So Buddy went off on all this tangent and all that. I put him in that same category. You know what I'm saying? He's pandering. You know what I'm saying? If you look at the numbers, he's just pandering. Like, bro, you got like just stop with that. You know what I mean? You can't sit here and try and say that they're not being held accountable. One thing about it is men also don't have the ability to tell a woman you're getting a deletion. You're going to delete that child, right? Regardless if a man wants a child or not, he has no say in it. So that's going to look much worse on men when they do decide, oh, I'm having it anyway. So you're eliminated. You don't have those same choices. If the numbers were even, who's creating more broken homes? The reason why they're not creating even more broken homes is because they have the opportunity to delete it regardless. You feel me? So let's stop with that. I feel like it's a stupid conversation. Buddy was all over the place making all these points. Bro, go find a woman. You know what I'm saying? And stop plucking your eyebrows. Like, come on, man. I'm cool.
Don't do that to him. He be on the show, bro. He be on the show.
I tell him, come call in. I tell him the same thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I damn near agree with him, honestly. Uh, if for a dude to even tell a female, oh well, you already a mama, woo woo woo. To me, that's some weak ass shit. If you know what I'm saying, if you got to say that. Um, but I think that if yeah, I damn near agree with what he was saying, man. If I forget, I think it was Sweeney that said, or Louise that recently said how most black men, their standards are lower than what it used to be. And honestly, I agree with that because a lot of chicks that shouldn't be mothers are mothers. Somebody cracked them raw, you know what I'm saying, nutted in them and gave them a baby, and there was no way, no reason why they should be a parent, but yet somebody did it. So I think that what he was saying does hold some truth for sure.
Okay. How you feeling about it, Trev?
Uh, so I definitely agree with what a lot of what Law said. As far as that situation is concerned, it's very easy to fall into that category of what they consider an F boy, right? And shit, I'm very familiar with how to present myself in that situation. This goes back to what I usually talk about, how women will purpose you. These dudes who they choose. And it's not a high percentage of men that are doing that. Particularly black men are not just impregnating a bunch of women. That's not, most of us aren't that. Most of us are not doing that. But there is a small percentage that is a large minority because they are out here doing what it do. But they're specialists at that. And like Homeboy was up here a couple weeks ago, he just didn't really give a damn about the consequences. He was just selling his wild oats. He didn't give a damn. And there's a lot of dudes like that that'll just continue to impregnate women. So you can't really throw this on the majority of men. There are a select few of men who are irresponsible and just scumbags. Because even if you're going to be out here doing what it do, I'm not against that. But you should protect yourself if you don't want to be in that child's life. And women have to do different situations. We're talking like a lot of these women are getting married first and then keeping their legs closed. That's not how it goes. A lot of these women who were pregnant by multiple men, they weren't married. That's not the majority. There's women who are also specialists at this, specialists at being baby mothers. Like that's their expertise is being baby mothers by a bunch of different dudes, and they don't learn their lesson, and they just want kids, and they'll get with a dude who they know doesn't really show them that type of interest for a long-term situation, but because they were attracted to that dude, they let him hit raw, and they think it's cute for a man to shoot the club up. And when they get pregnant, they're like, okay, maybe this will keep him around. Like I think I could be the special one that is going to change his damn mind and make him no longer an F boy and just want to live happily ever after with me. And then it's rinse and repeat. And that doesn't make sense to me. People have to be more responsible for that. And again, the men who are doing this, stop it. You're scumbags. Stop creating broken homes, right? The hell with y'all, because y'all making us all look crazy out here. So stop that shit. But women, you have to protect yourselves because it's the onus is on you because you have to live with that. A lot of these men are escaping, and some of them don't even give a damn about child support. They ain't got no legit job, and you can only take a certain percentage out. So he could impregnate a whole bunch of women, and it's the same bread coming out, right? If you have 20 children, you're paying pretty much the same as if you had 10. It doesn't really matter because they only allowed to take out a certain portion from your check. And then it just gets divided and divided and divided, and you get less and less. And you're not even taking that into account. And then you got to think about the time he has to divide for his availability for his children in several households, which is nonsense. So women, just protect yourselves. If you like a dude and you want to smash, that's your business. Don't let him shoot the club up, please. Let him throw that jammy on. He's still gonna hit, trust me, because he won it. He gonna hit anyway. You don't have to go raw with all. You don't have to. We just have to be more responsible as adults, period. But again, I think it's more women who are falling victim to it than the dudes that are out here just making a mess of things. I'll leave
But
it
Hey,
there for
Trev,
now.
yeah, but Trev,
hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. I want Trev to answer this question real quick. Do men, this is from Clay 2026, 499. Do men not have just as much choice when it comes to safe sex and whom they choose to have sex with?
Absolutely, they have as much choice. But again, most of us are responsible. We have that loud minority that go ahead and shoot the club up. And like I said, I condemn them. They should go to hell, right? They're making us look bad, and F y'all, for real. That's how I feel about it. You're a bunch of idiots for impregnating women who you don't want to be with. Stop doing that shit. It's irresponsible. And you're making us all look like shit. So fuck y'all. How about it? That's how I feel about that. Those particular men who are behaving like that are assholes. And that is something that I would absolutely hold a man accountable for not taking care of his children. And you should be trying to make an honest woman out of her. Anybody who you impregnate, like the shotgun wedding thing is done right now. We don't even do that. And I understand why you wouldn't, but you should be preemptive about it. You should be looking like, okay, if I'm going to shoot the club up and somebody, there's so many things you did wrong for you to go raw, for you to not pull out, for you to like, there's so many things you just did wrong. Like for you to do that. People don't get pregnant by mistake. Everybody say it was an accident, but it's not by mistake. You did that shit on purpose because you knew how people get pregnant. We all know how that works. We know as children that it's no longer the stork. The stork is not dropping off babies. You had to go bust somewhere for you to have a baby. So you ain't do that shit by mistake. So stop acting like it. It didn't happen by mistake. Unless you were violated, it wasn't no mistake on your part. So we just gonna have to really hold ourselves accountable and stop creating broken families.
Go ahead, Viz.
yeah, no, I was just gonna say, if the numbers are what they are for broken homes, then those women are sleeping with some men. You know what I'm saying? It has to be whatever percentage of men that they're sleeping with. So I definitely agree with what you're saying. Yet at the same time, I mean, realistically, there are a lot of dudes that's out here that's just plain reckless, especially in this day and age of where where we got OnlyFans and Twitter and motherfuckers cracking shit raw, like it's nothing. STDs is through the roof. What I think in Atlanta, it was some crazy number of cases out there. They having unprotected sex with somebody. So I 100% agree with what you're saying, but I do think that we do need to hold men more accountable with that. Because again, even if she is a skeezer, it's the fact that you hitting her raw, you know what I'm saying? Or you telling her whatever game to tell her, you know what I'm saying, to get her to stick around or to think that she the main one, the wifey, whatever, it's just bogus.